Hello, First Steps. So today I'm about to share my devotion on Proverbs chapter 3. This is my first time I'm doing something like this. So it's a real challenge for me. But I really want to thank Gino for motivating me, to do this. And yeah, before we get into this, I would really encourage you to read through the chapter once so that it's just easier for you to follow what I'm about to share. So yeah, let's get into it. So this chapter talks about putting God's wisdom into practice and the benefits of doing so. So if you read through the chapter, you will see that after every instruction that God is telling us to do, there is a benefit added right after it. So for example, the very first verse, it says, "My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity." Right? So the first verse says, "Do not forget my teaching, keep my commands in your heart." And the benefits is given, "For they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity." So this is how the whole chapter, goes. So I'm just going to pick up some of my favorite verses, or the verses which stood out for me. So the first one among the many is verse 5 and 6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." So, sometimes we go through hardships. We don't make a sense of what is happening around us. We worry about how we're going to do things, how we're going to get through it. But the Lord says, trust him with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Because God knows everything, right? He knows what you don't know. So he's telling us to put everything to him, give everything to him, and just trust in the process. He will guide you through. Just submit to him, and you know what he says? He will make your path straight. So he's saying that whatever your worries are, if you don't understand anything, come to me, give it all to me, and I will make a way for you. I will make the paths straight for you. So I think this was just very wonderful to hear that, whatever I may be going through, God is there. I just need to give it all to him. And then the next few verses which stood out for me was verse 9 and 10, which says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine." So I would like to quote an example here. Here in Manipur, where I stay, a lot of people are into farming. They have their own kitchen gardens. They grow a lot of vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. So here what people do is that it has become like a practice. Every time they grow something, they harvest something, the best and the first fruits of those harvests are always offered to the church. And it's just so wonderful to see people coming and giving to God, not because they have to, but because they believe that God is the provider of all those fruits in the first place. It is God who provides, so they think that he deserves the fruits, the best of the fruits, and this only will make them prosper more. It's not a loss for them. It's more like an investment. You give back to God, God will give you 10 times more. And then the next few verses which stood out for me were verse 27, 28, 29 and 30, which says, "Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, 'Come back tomorrow and I'll give it to you,' when you already have it with you. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse anyone for no reason, for they have done you no harm." So I think this one struck me so hard, in the sense that, I would say I'm privileged. I have almost everything that I need. God has blessed me with so many things, with a good family, and I can afford to get things that I want. I'm just blessed in so many ways. And I feel that when God has given me this privilege, it is my duty to do good for others as well, right? Where it says, "Do not withhold good from those uh, to whom it is due," when it is in your power to act. So I have the privilege, I have the power to do good for others. So I should not be holding back myself. And it also says, "Do not say to your neighbor, 'Come back tomorrow and I'll give it to you.'" So what it also means is that I have to do things promptly, right? I should not wait for the next day, because it will never happen then. So when you have the power to do something, do it as soon as you can. And and it also says that do not plot harm against your neighbors. So basically it's telling us that we should do good for others no matter what. And let us not worry about how other people behave or do things. There'll be people who may not do good, but I don't think we need to be envious of them, because God says that He's going to judge in the end, right? What He's commanding you to do is to do good, and then the rest, leave it up to Him. He will judge people accordingly, those who did good and those who didn't do good. So you don't have to worry about that. You just do what God is telling you to do good. Keep continuing doing that, and just do it promptly and live peacefully with others, is what I get from here. And I think it really resonates with the times that we live in. We hear of so many bad news, and I think it's really important that these things are taught right from the beginning in our homes, where we teach our younger ones to just do good. And I think that's the small step that we can take. And and the last one which stood out for me was also verse 19 and 20, where it says, "By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundation, by understanding He set the heavens in place, by His knowledge the watery depths were divided, and the clouds let drop the dew." So we have been talking about God's wisdom so far and the benefits from it. This verse clearly tells us why it has to be God's wisdom. Why God's wisdom is the highest among all. If you look at the creation around us, just look around, there's so many things, from the mightiest mountains to the smallest animals. There's so much detail. Look at your own body, there's so much detail, and only someone with that kind of wisdom and knowledge could have created something like this. So He is the best designer that you could possibly think of. And you and I can both agree that to design something like this with so many details and just the right things, like for example, the earth is at the right distance from the sun for us to have life here. Everything is at the right temperature, everything is at the right height or weight, or all the everything is aligned, and only someone like God could have created something like this. So imagine the kind of immense wisdom and knowledge that He possesses. So which is why it's said that it has to be God's wisdom that we should walk and talk in our life. So those were my thoughts, and tell me what you think about them. I would really love to hear that. And have a great Monday. Thanks.